Now, start with permutation combination. The first thing that we are supposed to understand is what is a factorial. Now, whenever we talk about, say for example, one factorial is nothing but we stop at 1. 2 factorial is nothing but 2 times 1. 3 factorial is nothing but 3 times 2 times 1. 4 factorial is nothing but 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. 5 factorial is 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. 6 factorial is 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times and 1, and it continues. So in the same way, if someone tells me what is n factorial, so we can start with n, n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3, and this goes on up till 3 times 2 times 1. So every example में एक simple चीज़ याद रखना कि जब भी हम factorial जाते हैं तो factorial will always end at 1. Also in the same way, 0 factorial is nothing but 1. Remember this. So even 0 factorial is called as 1. Now, it is used in permutation and combination. This is the factorial part, the 7 factorial. So 1 factorial, 0 factorial is 1, 1 factorial is 1, 2 factorial is 2, 3 factorial is 6, 4 factorial is 24, 5 factorial is 120, 6 factorial is 720. In the same way, when I write 7 factorial, it is 5040, and 8 factorial is 40, 32, 0. तो यहाँ तक याद रखना है कि 1 factorial से लेकर 8 factorial तक what are the values. तो 0 factorial is 1 as 1, 1 factorial is 1, 2 factorial is 2, 3 factorial is 6, 4 factorial is 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, that is 24, 120, 720, 7 factorial is 5040, and 8 factorial is 40, 32, 0. तो इतना याद रखना है. मतलब it will be helpful for you if you know this. And if I have written n factorial, it is like this. So n के जगह if I put 5 factorial, it will become 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If I put 8, तो 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. तो हमेशा last number देखोगे, it always ends at 1. Now, the second topic, is permutation. Now, permutation का मतलब होता है arrangement. Permutation का मतलब होता है arrangement. When you know that you are supposed to arrange certain things, it is called as permutation. It is written as NPR. This is the formula for permutation, that is NPR. NPR मतलब these are n objects, ठीक है, or n people, and these are total number of objects, that is n objects, and you have to arrange r objects. समझो 10 things है and you have to arrange 10 things में से 2 things. तो n का value is 10, r का value is 2, so it becomes 10p2. तो 10p2, npr is n objects दिया है, total number हमेशा याद रखो, n objects, total number हमेशा हम लोग n लेते हैं, तो n objects and you have to arrange r objects, so it becomes npr. So सबसे पहले n will be positive. Actually positive नहीं, you can say that n belongs to whole number. Second, r belongs to whole number. Third, n will always be greater than equal to r. n कभी r से छोटा नहीं होगा. Example, तुम लोग को अगर n बोला है कि there are 10 things and you have to arrange 12 things, possible ही नहीं है. You cannot arrange 12 things if only 10 things are available. तो याद रखो r का वैल्यू हमेशा less than equal to n रहेगा. तो r and n can be same, it can become 10p10 also, चलेगा. But the formula for NPR, see, this is the formula for NPR. The formula for NPR is n factorial upon n minus r factorial. This is the formula for NPR. The formula for NPR is n factorial upon n minus r factorial. I repeat again, the formula for NPR is n factorial upon n minus r factorial. There are n objects, you have to arrange r objects. I repeat, there are n objects, you have to arrange r objects. So this is NPR. N belongs to whole number, r belongs to whole number, and n will always be greater than equal to r. Now if I start with these sums, सबसे पहले, say for example, अगर मुझे किसी ने पूछा कि what is the question, कि what is the answer for 5p2, I will write 5p2 as n factorial upon n minus r factorial. N factorial upon n minus r factorial. So this will become 5 factorial upon 3 factorial. Now how do I write 5 factorial? 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. 3 factorial becomes 3 times 2 times 1. And अगर मैंने इसको simplify किया, my answer becomes 20. How? यहाँ पे 3 निकला, यहाँ पे 2 निकला, यहाँ पे 1 निकला. So 5 times 4 becomes 20. If I take on one more question, say for example, the next question is 7p3. 7p3 will become 7 factorial upon 7 minus 3 factorial, which is 7 factorial upon 4 factorial. Now 7 factorial is 7 into 6 into 5 into... I can write 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, but I will stop at 4 factorial. You can write 4 into 3 into 1, but it will become 4 factorial, and नीचे 4 factorial है. My answer is 210. Has everybody understood this? Anybody has any doubts? Next question, if I write, say for example, if I take 10p4, it will become 10 factorial upon 10 minus 4 factorial, which will become 10 factorial upon 6 factorial, which is 10 into 9 into 8 into 7 into 6 factorial upon 6 factorial. You cancel this and you get your answer. So I can write this as 90 times 72. So this is your answer, 90 times 72. 90 times 72. This will become 9 times 2 is 18. Carry forward 1, 7 9s are 63, 64 and 1 0, that is 6480. So this is your basic permutation. When numbers are given, n is also given, r is also given. So this is how we start with your permutation, which is nothing called as your arrangement of objects. If n objects are given and you have to arrange r objects. But if I start with this question that np2 is equal to 30, देखो ध्यान से, np2 is equal to 30, I will write n factorial upon n minus 2 factorial is equal to 30. अब देखो ध्यान से, n और n minus 2 में I know that n is the bigger number, so we always reduce the bigger number as n minus 1, n minus 2 factorial upon n minus 2 factorial is equal to 30. Now you will get n into n minus 1 is equal to 30. Now I will solve this in two ways. One way is quadratic. Okay, I'll show you. देखो ध्यान से देखो. So method 1 is quadratic. ठीक है? So that you understand कि if I solve by quadratic, what will the answer that I'll get? So I'll get n square minus n is equal to 30, which is n square minus n minus 30 equal to 0, which is n minus 6 n plus 5 is equal to 0. So either n is equal to 6 or n is equal to minus 5. Guys, this is not possible because it is supposed to be a whole number. So I get the answer as n is equal to 6. Perfect. But if I solve it like this, n into n minus 1 is equal to 30. इसको हम लोग method 2 लेते हैं. Method 2 is comparing. These are two consecutive numbers. I repeat, these are two consecutive numbers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write 30 as 6 times 5. On the right hand side also you have two consecutive numbers. Now I will compare both in such a way that I'll get the same answer. इसका मतलब देखो क्या है? I will write either n is equal to 6 or n minus 1 is equal to 5. Therefore, n is equal to 6, n is equal to 6. Finish. मैंने बिल्कुल भी quadratic नहीं किया, just compared this. How did I compare? Two consecutive numbers, right hand side भी two consecutive numbers. So whichever way is convenient for you, you can go on with that calculation. So whenever I take two consecutive numbers, you can compare in such a way कि दोनों में से same answer आना चाहिए. So you have to just have the presence of mind कि अगर मैंने n को 5 ले लिया और n minus 1 को 6 ले लिया तो I am getting two different answers, swap it. तो n को 6 ले लो और n minus 1 को 5 ले लो, get the same answer. Has everybody understood this? Now, if I do the next question, say for example the next question is np4 is to ratio n minus 1 p3 is equal to 9:1. ठीक है, रेशियो दिए स्टेप बाय स्टेप. देखो हाउ, सबसे पहले np4 को लिखेंगे अच्छे से. सो np4 विल बिकम n फैक्टोरियल अपॉन n माइनस 4 फैक्टोरियल. ठीक है, ये हो गया मेरा न्यूमरेटर. n minus 1 and we'll reduce it later on obviously. n minus 1 p4 will become n minus 1 the whole factorial upon n minus 1 minus 4 factorial, which is n minus 1 factorial upon n minus 5 factorial. Okay, so this is what is given to me. So I've got n minus 1, ये दोनों को reduce कर दिया. Now I am going to simplify this. देखो n minus 1 minus n minus 3 है ना. अच्छा 3, this is 3. Okay. So n minus 1 p3 will become n minus 1 minus 3, which is n minus 4 factorial. बराबर. Now I will write therefore this will become n factorial upon n minus 4 factorial is to the ratio मतलब divided by n minus 1 factorial upon n minus 4 factorial is equal to 9:1. Whenever there is division, I can make it multiplication. How? This will become n minus 4 factorial upon n minus 1 factorial is equal to 9. Okay, सबसे पहले ये cancel हो गया. So I will do n factorial upon n minus 1 factorial is equal to 9. n और n minus 1 में सबसे बड़ा n है, तो I am going to reduce the bigger term. Always reduce the bigger term. So I can write n factorial as n into n minus 1 factorial upon n minus 1 factorial is equal to 9. This gets cancelled, hence n is equal to 9. Have you guys understood this? Anybody has any doubts here? Is there anything you guys have not understood? Has everybody understood this? Yes, no? Chalo, next one. Okay, we're going to do only non-word problems today. Permutation ka. The next question is 2npn plus 1 to the ratio 2n minus 2 pn is equal to 56:3. is equal to 56:3. Now we are going to go step by step. एक साथ करेंगे. देखो सबसे पहले इसको करेंगे. This will become 2n factorial upon 2n minus n plus 1 factorial divided by 2n minus 2 factorial upon 2n minus 2 minus n factorial is equal to 56/3. Okay, is equal to 56/3. Now let's simplify this अच्छे से. This will become 2n factorial upon, if you check this, see 2n minus n becomes n minus 1 factorial divided by, first we'll simplify अच्छे से. This will become 2n minus 2 factorial upon 2n minus n becomes n minus 2 factorial is equal to 56/3. Now division becomes multiplication. So 2n factorial upon n minus 1 factorial multiplied by n minus 2 factorial upon 2n minus 2 factorial is equal to 56/3. Remember this step by step. We did this, we simplified it further, division becomes multiplication. Now ये देखो ये 2n के फैमिली को बिलोंग करते हैं, तो ये दोनों को ना एक दूसरे को कट करेंगे. ये n के फैमिली को बिलोंग करते हैं. सो 2n and 2n minus 2 में which is the bigger term? 2n. तो we are going to reduce 2n. देखो कैसे 2n, 2n minus 1, 2n minus 2 factorial लिख दिया. Can you guys tell me n minus 1 और n minus 2 में बड़ा टर्म क्या है? n minus 1 है तो उसको reduce करेंगे, that is n minus 1, n minus 2 factorial multiplied by n minus 2 factorial upon 2n minus 2 factorial is equal to 56 by 3. Now let's start eliminating terms. ये निकला, ये निकला, ये निकला n minus 2, ये निकला n minus 2. Has everybody understood this? Let's check. देखो 2n factorial upon 2n minus n minus 1 becomes n minus 1 factorial. यहाँ पे 2n minus 2 factorial upon 2n minus 2 minus n will become n minus 2 factorial. Now you have, this is what you have. So we will check if we can reduce something, but जब से पहले जो बच गया ना, we'll write that. So let's check whatever is left. ठीक है, तो देखो I am left with 2n minus 1 upon n minus 1 is equal to 56 by 3. Now देखो I can directly reduce this. 2 times 1, 2 times 28. Now if I cross multiply 2n, 3n, 3n, 2n minus 1 is equal to 28n minus 1. So this will become 6n square minus 3n is equal to 28n minus 28. 6n square minus 31n plus 28 is equal to 0. Okay, now this is what I have got. Now 28, I need to have a calculation in such a way that when I multiply 28 by 6, I need two terms, so that 28 को अगर मैं 6 से multiply करूँगा, I should get the term, and if I add them, I should get minus 31. So now you guys will tell me what will be the two terms. So if I'll give you a hint. देखो 28 को मैंने 6 से multiply किया, 6 times 8 becomes 48. This becomes 168. So can you tell me कि I'll give you a hint. This term, if अगर ध्यान से देखोगे, it is divisible by 24. So can you tell me what are the two numbers? 24 and 7. Very good. देखो, तो 24 और 7 हो गया, तो this will become 6n, n minus 4 minus 7, n minus 4 equal to 0. तो 6n minus 7, n minus 4 equal to 0. So guys, therefore n will become 7 by 6 or n is equal to 4. Now guys, this is not possible. Can you tell me why is it not possible? Because this is not a whole number. So guys, this is my answer where n is equal to 4. Has everybody understood this? So we are just using the same formula, that is npr, that is n factorial upon n minus r factorial. अब अगर ये बोला कि 2np3 is equal to 100 times np2. 2np3 is 100 times np2. So this will become 2n factorial upon 2n minus 3 factorial is equal to 100 into n factorial upon n minus 2 factorial. This is, अब ये दोनों एक फैमिली में बिलोंग करते हैं, ये दोनों, this is 2n का फैमिली and this is n का फैमिली. So let's reduce this. 2n, 2n minus 1, 2n minus 2, 2n minus 3 factorial upon 2n minus 3 factorial is equal to 100 n minus 1 n minus 2 factorial upon n minus 2 factorial. सबसे पहले जो निकलते हैं ना उसको निकाल दो. ये निकल गया, ये निकल गया, ठीक है. और बहुत सारे टर्म्स कट होंगे. अभी ध्यान से देखो, लुक एट दिस. सी दिस n gets cut, this n gets cut here. अभी if you see ना, यहाँ से ना कुछ कॉमन आ रहा है. Let's take 2 outside. तो 2 times 2 becomes 4. So 4 into 2n minus 1 n minus 1 is equal to 100 n minus 1. देखो 4 times 1 4 times 25. 2n minus 1 is equal to 25. 2n is equal to 26. N is 30. Single answer. What we have done is we have used the same formula, that is NPR. The formula for NPR is n factorial upon n minus r factorial. I repeat again. The formula for NPR is n factorial upon n minus r factorial. Has everybody understood this? Is there any doubts from anybody? Go on to the next question. Same formula use करेंगे NPR का. Now, sometimes they give you like this. P bracket n comma 6 is equal to 3 times P bracket n comma 5. ठीक है, बिल्कुल डर नहीं करनी. This is n मतलब ये ऊपर है और ये r है. So what they mean is, they mean like this. np6 is equal to 3 times np5. np6 is n factorial upon n minus 6 factorial is equal to 3 into n factorial upon n minus 5 factorial. सबसे पहले ये n को निकालो, ये n को निकालो. So n minus 5 पहले लिख लो जो बच गया. 1 upon n minus 6 factorial is equal to 3 upon n minus 5 factorial. ये n minus 5 को यहाँ पे ले लेंगे क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई करके. So n minus 5 factorial upon n minus 6 factorial is equal to 3. Is equal to 3. So can you tell me n minus 5 और n minus 6 में बड़ा टर्म कौन सा है? n minus 5. So I will reduce n minus 5 as n minus 5 n minus 6 factorial upon n minus 6 factorial is equal to 3. ये guys n minus 6 निकला, n minus 6 निकला. Therefore n minus 5 is equal to 3. So guys n is equal to 8. Anybody has any doubts here? So you can check always, you can put the value and LHS will always be equal to RHS. So this is how we solve the following question. Next. Twice of P n comma 3 is equal to P n plus 1 comma 3. Okay. So this will become twice of n factorial upon n minus 3 factorial is equal to n plus 1 factorial upon n plus 1 minus 3 factorial, which will become twice of n factorial upon n minus 3 factorial is equal to n plus 1 factorial upon n minus 2 factorial. अब यहाँ पे ही सिंप्लीफाई करते हैं. देखो ध्यान से देखो क्या कर रहा हूँ मैं. n फैक्टोरियल, ये n प्लस 1 बड़ा है और n छोटा है, तो आई विल राइट इट एज n प्लस 1 इंटू n फैक्टोरियल. तो न्यूमरेटर इज टेकन केयर ऑफ. n माइनस 3 और n माइनस 2 में n माइनस 2 बड़ा है, तो आई विल राइट इट एज n माइनस 2 इंटू n माइनस 3 फैक्टोरियल, और यहाँ पे आएगा n माइनस 3 फैक्टोरियल. ये देखो, ये निकल गया, ये निकल गया, ये निकल गया, ये निकल गया. नाउ राइट डाउन वॉट एवर इज लेफ्ट. Twice of n plus 1 upon n minus 2. I'll cross multiply. So twice of n minus 2 is equal to n plus 1. So this will become 2n minus 4 is equal to n plus 1. So 3n is equal to 5. n is equal to 5 by 3. अरे बाप रे, तो प्रॉब्लम हो गया. n का वैल्यू हो ही नहीं सकता है. बोलो क्या गलत है? 2n माइनस कहाँ पे 2n माइनस है? 2n माइनस n. 2n माइनस यहाँ पे
both side minus 1 है, so n minus 4
n वो साइड में जाएगा तो माइनस होगा.
ये वाला 2n minus 4, 2n minus n will become n. Sorry guys. So this will n is equal to 5. तो ऐसे लिखो. 2n minus n is equal to 1 plus 4, n is equal to 5. Has everybody understood this? तो देखो याद रखो, अगर फ्रैक्शन आ रहा है तो हमको ये याद रखना है कुछ ना कुछ तो मिस्टेक हुआ है. अल्टीमेटली ना देयर इज अ कॉमन मिस्टेक दैट एवरीबडी डज. n जैसे ही माइनस आता है ना तो पीपल फील दैट n माइनस 3 और n माइनस 2 में you will start reducing n minus 3. Please never reduce the smaller number. कुछ कटने वाला. You have to understand कि -3 और -2 में कौन सा टर्म छोटा है. -3 छोटा है तो हमको n -2 ही reduce करना पड़ेगा. Has everybody understood this? Anybody has any doubts here? Next. R is equal to question mark if 5 times P of 4 comma R is equal to 6 times P of 5 comma R minus 1. ठीक है, एंड यहाँ पे लिख दो कि R is greater than equal to 1. ओके, लेट्स सिंप्लीफाई दिस. ये हो जाएगा 5 times 4 factorial upon 4 minus R factorial is equal to 6 times 5 factorial upon 5 minus R minus 1 factorial. ठीक है, 5 minus R minus 1 factorial. अब अगर ध्यान से देखेंगे ना ये मल्टीप्लाइड है. अब 5 times 4 factorial is nothing but 5 factorial. एंड ये हो जाएगा 4 माइनस आर फैक्टोरियल. इसको ना 6 इंटू 5 फैक्टोरियल लिखो तो आगे 5 फैक्टोरियल डायरेक्ट कट हो जाएगा. एंड दिस विल बिकम 6 माइनस आर फैक्टोरियल बिकॉज 5 माइनस आर माइनस 1 विल बिकम प्लस 1. तो 6 माइनस आर, यहाँ पे 5 फैक्टोरियल कैंसिल हो गया, 5 फैक्टोरियल कैंसिल हो गया. ठीक है, आई राइट डाउन वट एवर इज लेफ्ट. 4 माइनस आर फैक्टोरियल इज इक्वल टू 6 इंटू 6 माइनस आर फैक्टोरियल. ये देखो, so what I'm going to do is I'll write 6 minus r factorial upon 4 minus r factorial is equal to 6. So this will become 6 minus r, 5 minus r, 4 minus r factorial because 6 is greater than 4 obviously. 4 minus r factorial is equal to 6. ये देखो consecutive terms आ गया, 6 और 5 consecutive terms है. So I'll write 6 minus r, 5 minus r becomes 3 times 2. Let's try करते. बड़े को बड़े से कंपेयर करते, छोटे को छोटे से कंपेयर करते. अब देखो 6 minus r को 3 से कंपेयर कर दिया. 6 minus r को तो r का वैल्यू 3 हो जाएगा. देखो 6 minus r is equal to 3. तो 6 minus 3 is equal to r. Therefore r is equal to 3. Let's check अगर ये टेक्स्ट टर्म के लिए भी सेटिस्फाई करते. 5 minus r is equal to 2. 5 minus 2 is equal to r. R is equal to 3. ओके लवली, दोनों से R का वैल्यू सेम आ गया और R का वैल्यू सेम आ गया, मतलब दिस द वैल्यू ऑफ R इज 3. ऑब्वियसली यू कैन सॉल्व इट बाय क्वाड्रेटिक ऑल्सो. एक नेगेटिव आएगा, फ्रैक्शन आएगा, एक पॉजिटिव आएगा एंड द वैल्यू. अच्छा एक और चीज़ चेक करना है, मेरा जो R है वो कभी भी n से बड़ा नहीं होगा. तो अगर गलती से मुझे आंसर 7 आया या 5 भी आ गया तो सेम तो हो जाएगा, बट एक यहाँ पे 5 नहीं हो सकता है बिकॉज यहाँ पे n का वैल्यू 4 है. तो माई आंसर हैज़ टू बी लेस देन और इक्वल टू 4. हैज़ एवरीबडी अंडरस्टूड? इट हैज़ टू बी लेस देन इक्वल टू 4. इट कैनॉट बी ग्रेटर देन 4. प्लीज रिमेंबर दिस, इट कैनॉट बी ग्रेटर देन 4. ओके, नाउ प्रूव दैट क्वेश्चन करते हैं सो दैट it becomes easier for us to understand also. Let's do a prove that sum. ठीक है, the question is p n comma r. Prove that p n comma r is equal to n minus r plus 1 p n comma r minus 1. ठीक है, एकदम easy. सबसे पहले LHS ले लेते हैं. Let's take the LHS. LHS is p bracket n comma r, which is n p r, which is n factorial upon n minus r factorial. Simple formula. Let's take the RHS to understand whether RHS match होगा कि नहीं. So RHS में my formula, my question is n minus r plus 1 and this will become n p r minus 1. We can't do anything about the coefficient, that is n minus r plus 1. और इसको लिखेंगे n factorial upon n minus r minus 1 factorial, which is n minus r plus 1 into n factorial upon n minus r plus 1 factorial. अब n minus r plus 1 factorial को I can write it as n minus r plus 1 into n minus r. ये बड़ा टर्म है, इसको रेड्यूस कर दिया, ये निकल गया फैक्टोरियल ना, एंड माय आंसर इज n factorial upon n minus r factorial. ये देखो, this is the LHS, this is the RHS, and hence we prove that LHS is equal to RHS. Has everybody understood this? कुछ नहीं किया है हम n factorial, मुझे चाहिए था n factorial, तो मैंने n factorial को टच ही नहीं किया. मुझे नीचे यहाँ पे +1 दिखा, तो मैंने n minus r plus 1 को n minus r plus 1 into n minus r कर दिया, and बचा n minus r factorial. Has everybody understood this? So the same formula in different sums. We are just supposed to understand how can we proceed. Now let's find the value of x. Okay, find x. The question is 1 upon 9 factorial plus 1 upon 10 factorial is equal to x upon 11 factorial. You have to be very fast when you're doing this, but you have to use common sense. I'll give you a hint. Let's make the denominator same. सबसे बड़ा टर्म फैक्टोरियल 2 मिनट में निकाल देते हैं. सबसे बड़ा टर्म है 11. अब 9 फैक्टोरियल है. देखो मैं क्या करने वाला हूं, मैं इसको 10 और 11 से मल्टीप्लाई कर दूंगा, तो मेरा डिनोमिनेटर क्या बन जाएगा, 11 फैक्टोरियल. ये 10 फैक्टोरियल है, मैं इसको किससे मल्टीप्लाई करूंगा, वेरी गुड. और यहाँ पे किसी को किसी से मल्टीप्लाई करने का जरूरत नहीं है. दिस बिकम्स 110 by 11 factorial plus 11 upon 11 factorial is equal to x upon 11 factorial, which will become 110 plus 11 upon 11 factorial is equal to x upon 11 factorial. ये निकला 11 factorial, ये निकला 11 factorial. X will become 110 plus 11 will become what? 121. Very good. Did you guys understand this? So basic. अब a lot of people will take LCM, this simple denominator same कर दो, denominator same कर दिया, 1 2 3 4 step is your answer. So you have to be very fast, you have to quick, and you have to make sure that you are solving it under time so that you're not wasting your time on these sums. Now n factorial upon 2 factorial into n minus 2 factorial divided by n factorial upon 4 factorial into n minus 4 factorial is equal to 2 divided by 1. डिवाइडेड दिया, मैं इसको रेसिप्रोकल कर दूंगा. सबसे पहले लिख लेते क्या क्या है, n factorial 2 factorial n minus 2 factorial, obviously you have to find n, multiplied by 4 factorial n minus 4 factorial n factorial is equal to 2. सबसे पहले n को निकालो, n को निकाल दिया, जो बच गया वो लिख लो. 1 upon 2 factorial n minus 2 factorial 4 factorial n minus 4 factorial is equal to 2. 4 factorial 2 factorial n minus 4 n minus 2. सबसे पहले 4 factorial को see what I am going to write. I am going to write 4 into 3 into 2 factorial. n minus 4 छोटा n minus 1 से हम लोग कुछ नहीं कर सकते, हम लोग को उसको ऐसे ही लिखना पड़ेगा guys, the whole upon 2 factorial कैसे लिख दिया, n minus 2 will become n minus 2 factorial becomes n minus 2 n minus 3 n minus 4 factorial is equal to 2. ये देखो, ये निकला मेरा n minus 4, ये निकला मेरा n minus 4, ये निकला मेरा 2 factorial, ये निकला 2 factorial. Now can I reduce something? Yes. देखो 2 times 2 times. Let's write down whatever is left. Let's write down whatever is left. So this will become 3 times 2 is equal to n माइनस टू n माइनस थ्री. अब ऐसे कंपेयर करने के आंसर सेम आ जाएगा. ट्रायल एंड एरर, बट यू कैन ट्राई इट. तो 3 इज इक्वल टू n माइनस टू, 2 is equal to n minus 3. So 5 is equal to n. 5 is equal to n. So guys, my n ka value is nothing but 5. Has everybody understood this? Same formula. N factorial for P, that is permutation, that is arrangement. NPR is nothing but n factorial upon n minus r factorial. Has everybody understood this? So ठीक है, I have to find the value of n. 2n factorial upon 3 factorial 2n minus 3 factorial divided by n factorial 2 factorial n minus 2 factorial is equal to 44 divided by 3. I have to find the value of n. देखो डिवाइडेड दिया है सामने से. फर्स्ट रूल क्या है? मल्टीप्लाई में कन्वर्ट कर दो. सो अच्छे से लिखेंगे 2n factorial 3 into 2 factorial. I'm just writing 3 into 2 factorial. 2n minus 3 factorial multiplied by 2 factorial n minus 2 factorial upon n factorial is equal to 44 by 3. ठीक है, देखो ध्यान से देखो, ये निकला 2 factorial, ये निकला 2 factorial, ये निकला 3, ये निकला 3. Okay, now let's write down whatever is left. 2n factorial 2n minus 3 factorial multiplied by n minus 2 factorial n factorial is equal to 44. 2n is bigger, 2n minus 3 is smaller. So 2n minus 1, 2n minus 2, 2n minus 3 factorial, the whole upon 2n minus 3 factorial multiplied by n minus 2 छोटा है तो we can't do this, but n factorial will become n minus 1 n minus 2 factorial is equal to 44. ये देखो ध्यान से, ये निकला 2n minus 3, ये निकला 2n minus 3, ये निकला n minus 2, ये निकला n minus 2. अब देखो ध्यान से देखो, ये निकला 2, ये निकला n, ये निकला n. तो most of the terms have got cancelled. Now let's write down whatever is left. इसमें से ना देखो ध्यान से, इसमें से आई विल टेक 2 कॉमन आउटसाइड, और ये बाहर 2 वैसे भी है. सो 4 2n minus 1 n minus 1 upon n minus 1 is equal to 44 फैक्टोरियल. n minus 1 नहीं, फैक्टोरियल नहीं. ये निकला n minus 1, ये निकला n minus 1. 4 times 1, 4 times 11. 2n minus 1 is equal to 11. 2n is equal to 12. n is equal to 6. Simple. Your simplification, if you, one small mistake here, if you expand the wrong term, you will go in a loop. अगर हमने गलती से छोटे टर्म को एक्सपांड कर लिया, यू विल गो इन अ लूप. लूप मतलब वो कभी कुछ कैंसिल नहीं होगा, कुछ भी कैंसिल नहीं होगा. एंड दैट इज योर बिगेस्ट हिंट दैट यू हैव एक्सपांडेड द रॉन्ग ब्रैकेट. रिमेंबर दिस गाइस, ये ना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, हमको इतना याद रखने का. ठीक है, n plus 1 factorial is equal to 56n minus 1 factorial. ये बहुत ईजी है. आई विल एक्सपांड n plus 1 n minus 1 factorial is equal to 56 n minus 1 factorial. ये निकला n minus 1, ये निकला n minus 1. n plus 1 into n is equal to 56 consecutive terms. n plus 1 into n is equal to 8 times 7. So n plus 1 is equal to 8, n is equal to 7. Therefore n is equal to 7, n is equal to 7, And guys, my answer is n is equal to 7. This is your answer, that I've got n ka value as 7. Has everybody understood this? Anybody has any doubts here? Last sum for permutation. Okay. इसको एक नॉर्मल सम लेते हैं, कन्वर्ट इनटू फैक्टोरियल. ठीक है, क्योंकि बहुत सारा परम्यूटेशन का सम कर दिया, एक कन्वर्ट इनटू फैक्टोरियल ले लेते हैं. I have to convert into factorial. 7 into 8 into 9 into 10 into 11 into 12 into 13 into 14 into 15. ये क्वेश्चन भी है, मुझे बोला है कन्वर्ट इनटू फैक्टोरियल. सबसे पहले मैं अच्छे से लिखता हूँ. 15 times 14 times 13 times 12 times 11 times 10 times 9 times 8 times 7. अब इसके आगे ना what I am going to do is I am going to multiply and divide by 6 factorial, क्योंकि every factorial ends at 1. तो अगर मैंने न्यूमरेटर को 6 factorial से डिवाइड कर लिया, it will become 15 times 14 times 13 times 12 times 11 times 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, which will become 15 factorial upon 6 factorial, and that is the answer. I just converted the sum into a factorial. Has everybody understood? So these are the sums required for you to understand permutation without the word problems. These are all your sums which are related to permutation, where we used n ka value as n, used n ka value as 2n, and we have done all the sums, how to simplify, how to find out which is the bigger term and which is the small term. Has everybody understood this? Okay. Combination that we will be starting with the next lecture. NCR is n factorial upon r factorial into n minus r factorial. This is the formula for combination, which we will be doing it in the next class. Okay, chalo, we'll stop for the day.